And good morning. We are at the Gunsight BLM camping area, kind of south of the small town of Ajo. I drove through Ajo last night and didn't see anywhere that I could camp, and so I continued on down here. This is about another 15-minute drive, but if you look around here, you can see we have a few neighbors around, and that was good. The sign coming into the entrance says to beware of immigrants and drug activity. So you just want to take some precautions for that. I left the alarm for the truck cab on, and it did wake me up with a beep warning a couple times last night, and then I could have sworn I heard a couple of things out around me last night, but got up this morning and everything seems to be fine. There may have been other people pulling in around me last night, so I came into this here spot, got the Class A there and another one farther over. Truck and trailer, truck camper over there, truck camper right here. I'm supposed to be looking at the truck to make sure everything's okay. How's my propane doing? I have to get propane pretty soon. One bottle is empty, and I had a little bit of a forward lean. That's fine. Okay, good. I was wondering where my coat was. So we had a nice stay here last night. We got these cactuses, saguaro cacti around here. So this is just kind of a little wash that I'm walking here. Doggy tracks or something tracks in it. And there you go. So you can see there's a couple of nesting holes up high. There was a cactus over at my old camp near Bal's Quartzsite area, and that had a I think it was called a golden cactus wren in it, and that is a bird about the size of a robin. So today we are heading down to the was the Cactus something or another national monument, and that ought to be fun to do. Go and check that out. There's a couple of old abandoned mines down in that area. You probably can't see it from here, but that tree straight over there, you see the big bunch in it. Tree right dead center is has a great big nest for something in there. Okay, so I'm gonna get hopping. This is the Organ Pipe Cactus National Monument. These are the Organ Pipe cactus. They've got a nice exhibit inside there. It's not large, but it's very nice. All the activities for me here are free because I have a senior Ameripass card, lifetime membership. The center is dedicated to this ranger here, Chris Eggle, who died protecting people in the park from armed illegal immigration. People that shot people and came across the border and killed him too. So it's nice that they dedicated a park to him. Okay, Seasons of the Sonoran Desert. So this is their little visitor center display, and it's kind of a nice little setup in here, talking about different things. There's the scorpions under black light and the moth under black light. Examples of some of the things left by miners.
Over 1,500 years ago, the Hohokam people followed trails to the Sea of Cortez, where they gathered salt and seashells. They made pottery, lived in villages, and built reservoirs and canals.
Yeah, so this is a grinding stone.
My own people, the Kinawan, lived here in a small community. They gathered fruits from the saguaros and grew beans and melons. My people know this as
Rattlesnake, jackrabbit, a bunny, black-tailed jackrabbit. So that is what I saw outside.
It is said that
Okay.
a mother neglected her baby in favor.
This is a look at the visitor center display room, and they've got a bunch of native artifacts in there to look at. This is the way outside from the ranger station to their nature walk, and unfortunately I left my camera in picture mode, not video mode, so I don't have video of that. There was a little pond in there, if you noticed. It has a very rare little fish that's only found in a couple of places. It's only like 3 or 4 inches long, and that little spring or pond is one of the places where it survives. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're leaving the ranger station, and we are going to drive out the 5-mile road here. The sign on the left is telling you where the campground and some trails are. And we're going to drive out through here. We're passing through the gates right here. Fortunately, they are open. So the road is paved and gravel mixed, but it's in pretty good shape. They maintain it, grade it nicely, so it's a good drive. But you can see along the road here there are a bunch of saguaro cactuses and the organ pipe cactus. And there are several other plants and cactus in the area. I do not recall all the names of which. There's like a juniper and an elephant bush and a ironwood and a few other things. And they're all uniquely evolved to survive in this very hot, arid, dry climate. As we drive along here, we're going to get close to these mountains on the left. The GoPro doesn't really show how close we are very well. It's a wide angle. But you'll notice that as we get closer to the mountains, it seems to force more water out of the clouds. And so there's a little more water on the ground, which means a little bit more green. And you can see that it gets greener in here as we travel along. Now this is a 5-mile drive, and the entire road, I believe, is 40 or 50 miles long, but once you get past the 5-mile point, there's a turnaround, and you can either come back. This section of the road is 2 lanes, but if you go straight beyond the 5-mile point, you're on a 1-lane road dedicated, and so then you have to drive the entire route, and that can take you several hours to complete. So I only had a certain amount of time. I wanted to drive the 5-mile road and then get back and cross the freeway over to the 20-mile loop, which that is kind of the highlight in the park, is driving that loop. And the park information says that the road is very rough and they recommend high clearance vehicles, but there's a lot of cars that were going up that, and I didn't find the road in very bad condition. Some of it is actually in very good condition, and there are a couple of rough spots, but for the most part, if you've got a mechanically sound vehicle, you ought to be fine being able to drive that. So we're still continuing on out the road here, and you can see there's several pullouts to either side, and those have trails on them. The directions in the park say to not pick up any hitchhikers because they could be illegal immigrants or drug traffickers, and you do not want to get mixed up with this. Remember that the ranger station is named for a ranger who lost his life defending and protecting campers from drug traffickers several years back, and he was killed in the line of duty. So it's very appropriate that they would name a ranger station after him. We're going to continue driving on here, and I think I'm just going to narrate until we get to the turnaround, and then I'm just going to leave music for the rest of the drive. And you can either continue watching the video, see the return trip, or if you think you've had enough, you can bail out at that point. You do see a little different perspective on the return trip, so if you like the desert, if you're thinking about going to the Organ Pipe Cactus National Monument, you might want to watch it. So you see there are some more vehicles parked along the road. That apparently was one of the more popular trails there. And we're going to keep on proceeding along the highway or the gravel road here until we get to the turnaround. And as the summer gets closer, it gets really, really hot in here. And so they recommend that you have your water with you too, safety first. But currently, right now, as of April 4th, 2023, apparently the campground, there's a notice on the website for the park that the dump station is closed, and they may or may not be servicing water to campers. I'm sure there's still electric, but the campground, there's no dump station, so you'll want to be kind of meager with your water. So this is the turnaround here, and I managed to go in the loop the wrong direction. So I'm just going to turn myself around here, and there you can see the one-way sign right in front of us there. And once you are on that road, you are dedicated for the next several hours of driving. Make sure you've got food, fuel, water, all that good stuff. So we are on the return trip now. But what I was saying was the campground, they need to repair the sewer for the dump. I guess there's a break in the line or something happened, and that's going to be kind of an inconvenience at the park. But otherwise, it's a pretty cool park to stay at, and anyone planning to go there will have a really good time. Alright, so I'm going to cut out here and just leave music playing. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. And please do consider subscribing if you want to follow along, watch more videos like this. I will have the 20-mile drive video coming up next. Okay, I will see you on the next video. Goodbye.